You know, a lot of people are being short-sighted about this whole darn thing. I mean, I know right now you're sitting at home and you're making quite a bit of more money. And this is directed towards people who can work but choose not to for whatever reason. All right? And I'm not faulting you for your decision. I'm just saying, did you think about the long-term ramifications? Your decision to stay at home and make more money staying at home doing nothing while I slave away making less money than you is a smart decision. You're smarter than I am. You're a hell of a lot smarter than I am. I, for some reason, have just always been a tank and wanted to be part of something more than what I am. So, what do you think is going to happen here in 3, 4, 5 months, a year, 2 years, 6 years, 10 years? I don't care how long it is. At some point, the country's going to wake up and a vaccine or something's going to happen, or we don't ever get a vaccine and we just treat it like the flu and life goes on and everything goes back to normal. Before COVID, we were in an employee market. There was very low unemployment. People had jobs and companies were competing to get employees. Now, there's certain companies that tell you how to advertise, and I know this. I'm the number 2 man in my company, so I know very well, the advertising things we talk. And before COVID, it was about, let's go even further back. 15 years ago, when it was an employer market, companies that did advertising recommended that when you advertise, you'd advertise what can the employee offer the company? Meaning, this company seeks an employee with 10 years of service, must have CDL, EPA license, universal, whatever, the demands that the company wants for the employee. Then about 3 years ago, right in the swing of when the economy was on the uptick and unemployment was down, it became an employee market, and advertisers switched and said, now when you're looking for an employee, you have to put what the company can offer the employee. Seeking employee with 10 years experience, offering X dollars an hour, plus benefits, plus profit sharing, plus. And it was great, because you could negotiate better wages, you could negotiate a salary, whatever terms you chose, and you'd probably get them as long as they weren't extraordinary. And you may get a little huff and puff from the boss, but a little bit of silence, and they would say, yep, because they needed the work. Now that everybody's staying home, and Jesus, every company I see is hiring left and right, left and right, left and right, well, you're going to have a market where every single person that's been sitting at home is all at once going to need to go get a job. Well, now you're not quite that important to the company because they can choose from any Tom, Dick, and Harry. They got a million warm bodies applying for the same position. So now when you go to the negotiation table, the advantage is on the employer. None of this is going to affect me. My job, mechanical engineering is a standard, secure field. I mean, I don't care what happens. A meteor could fall from Earth and devastate half the Earth. As long as there's human beings alive, there's going to be a need for people who can fix things that are mechanical and electrical and things like that. That's just a fact of life. But what are you doing? Have you thought that far ahead? And then a real quick one to the cops out there. Really? You're arresting people to go to a gym that are defying a stay-at-home order, but yet I thought what I had heard on the oaths was that you were sworn to uphold the Constitution, not the governor, and governors don't hold sway over the Constitution of the United States of America. And last I heard, we hadn't changed the Constitution of the United States of America to give governors that much power. That's absurd. So which law are you enforcing? The law of the governor or the law of the land? Because the law of the land is the Constitution of the United States of America. So to you, law enforcement officials everywhere, what are you doing? It seems to me like you're violating people's constitutional rights. And in some cases, it seems like you're gleefully doing it. I think you guys are suffering from the same thing that I see so many other people suffering from. And it's, I don't know, we'll call it official sanctumhood syndrome. You look at the officials like they're The sanctity of everything good, and what they say goes, no matter what. The governor says this, even though it violates the Constitution of the United States of America, which I am sworn to uphold. I'm going to go ahead and do what the governor says instead of what I am sworn to uphold. That's what you're telling the world by doing this type of stuff. I mean, anybody? Anybody? Can I get a response? Knock, knock. Are you guys awake? Are you guys home? I mean, you guys got your hands so far down freaking Uncle Sam and Big Brother's pants. Reach a little bit deeper, you'll feel their balls, and maybe it'll remind you what balls feel like, so that way you can remember, oh yeah, you got some. And when I say balls, just to satisfy the social justice warriors, I've got to include that I'm speaking metaphorically, and yes, you can have lady balls as well, because they're metaphorical balls. You don't literally have your hand down a Big Brother's pants. The whole thing is metaphorical, but obviously we live in a social justice world where this type of shit has to be explained, because, you know, social justice warriors and all that, and outrage culture. So yeah, metaphors. It's a metaphor. I know, I get bitched out for my metaphors all the time. I don't care. You have the freedom to switch off if you choose. I have the right to be offensive, and you have the right to be offended. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. Every time, every day I wake up, I think of that song, Changes. Yeah, changes. But I'm always going to do my best to bring you guys the news as I see fit, and I'm not going to back down from YouTube or the FBI or anybody else. As long as I'm able to, I'll report you the news in an unbiased manner as I see it. I love you guys. Stay informed. Listen to dissenting opinions, and I will see you on the next one.